Arsenal have been hit with a devastating blow after confirmation that William Saliba will miss the next 6 weeks of action, sidelining him for 7 crucial fixtures that could shape the trajectory of their season. The French defender has been a rock at the back since establishing himself as Mikel Arteta's defensive linchpin, and his absence immediately raises concerns about whether Arsenal can maintain their momentum without his commanding presence. The timing could hardly be worse. Over the next month and a half, Arsenal face a run of matches that will test every aspect of their squad. The sequence begins with a tricky Premier League away game at Goodison Park against Everton, a ground that has often proved a stumbling block for Arsenal. Saliba's pace and composure would have been vital in nullifying Everton's aerial threat and set-piece power, but now Gabriel Magalhaes will need to lead a reshuffled backline against Sean Dyche's physically robust side. From there, the challenge intensifies further. Just days later comes the Champions League group stage trip to face Bayern Munich at the Allianz Arena, a fixture that always carries huge significance. Facing Bayern's relentless attacking power without Saliba is an unenviable task, especially given how often the German champions exploit defensive weaknesses. Arsenal will have to rely on Jacob Kiwior or a repositioned Ben White alongside Gabriel to cope with the likes of Harry Kane, Leroy Sane, and Jamal Musiala. Supporters shudder at the thought, remembering how last season's European ambitions ended prematurely after defensive frailties were exposed when Saliba was absent. Next on the schedule is a North London derby at the Emirates against Tottenham, a match that transcends league points and speaks to pride, momentum, and belief. Spurs, under Ange Postecoglou, have shown greater attacking flair and intensity, and Saliba would have been tasked with keeping Son Heung-min quiet, a duel that has gone Arsenal's way more often than not with the Frenchman in the side. Instead, Arsenal will head into the season's first derby without their most reliable one-on-one defender, and Arteta must find a formula to withstand Spurs' counter-attacking threat. After that comes a Carabao Cup tie against Manchester City, a fixture Arteta would already have known demanded perfection. Cup matches against Pep Guardiola's side rarely allow for mistakes, and without Saliba's calm distribution from the back, Arsenal may find it harder to build possession under pressure. Arteta may even consider prioritizing other players in that game, but the reality is that Arsenal are desperate for silverware, and losing Saliba for it is a bitter pill to swallow. The Premier League schedule then presents a daunting clash away at Liverpool at Anfield, historically one of the toughest grounds for Arsenal. Saliba's absence was sorely felt there last season when Arsenal surrendered a 2-goal lead, and now the story risks repeating itself. Liverpool's front line, spearheaded by Mohamed Salah and Darwin Núñez, will relish testing Arsenal's defensive depth. If there was ever a match where the Gunners needed Saliba's athleticism and calm under pressure, it is this one, but once again they will have to cope without him. The 6th game he will miss is another Champions League outing, this time at home to Inter Milan. The Italian side's reputation for ruthlessness on the counter and physical forwards like Lautaro Martinez makes Saliba's unavailability even more damaging. The Emirates crowd will roar their team on, but questions will hang heavy over whether Arsenal's defense can contain a side so adept at exposing weaknesses. Dropped points in Europe at this stage could complicate qualification from the group. Finally, Saliba is also expected to miss Arsenal's home clash against Chelsea in the league, a match that always carries added intensity. Chelsea, despite their inconsistency, possess pace and unpredictability in attack, and a London derby without Saliba again raises the spectre of vulnerability. That match will mark the 7th fixture of his absence, with hopes high that he will be close to a return thereafter. 7 games, each significant in its own right, now loom without Arsenal's most dependable defender. The situation mirrors the nightmare scenario of last season, when Saliba's back injury in March derailed a title charge that had seemed destined for success. Up to that point, Arsenal's defense had been watertight, but his absence destabilized the balance, leading to costly dropped points against Liverpool, West Ham, and Southampton that ultimately allowed Manchester City to overhaul them. This new setback risks a similar impact, and supporters cannot help but fear that lightning may strike twice. For Arteta, the challenge is twofold: tactical adaptation and psychological resilience. Tactically, he must decide how to reshuffle. Ben White may move inside from right back, though that weakens Arsenal's attacking width down the flank, where his partnership with Bukayo Saka has been so productive. Alternatively, Kiwior could be trusted, though he remains untested against the elite strikers Arsenal will now face. Gabriel will become the undisputed leader at the back, but the Brazilian thrives alongside Saliba's composure, and he will now need to carry more responsibility. Psychologically, Arteta must ensure the squad does not crumble under the weight of Saliba's absence. Players will privately remember how last season unraveled, but the manager will stress that elite teams cope with adversity. He will demand that midfielders like Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard contribute more defensively, shielding the backline, while full-backs such as Oleksandr Zinchenko are likely to be instructed to curb their attacking instincts. It will require a collective effort to mask the absence of an individual so pivotal. The supporters' frustration is also palpable, many questioning whether the club did enough in the summer window to reinforce central defense. While midfield and attack received investment, the decision to trust the existing defensive options is now under scrutiny. If Arsenal falter in these 7 games, calls for further reinforcements in January will intensify, and questions about squad planning will grow louder. Still, there is also opportunity hidden within adversity. Players like Kiwior or academy prospect Reuel Walters may see increased minutes, accelerating their development. If they step up, Arsenal may discover hidden depth they can lean on in the future. Conversely, if the gamble fails, the board will be forced to act in the transfer market, ensuring such a situation does not derail them again. For Saliba himself, the frustration will be immense. He has spoken of his ambitions to be regarded among the best defenders in the world, and his performances over the past 18 months have justified the praise. Missing marquee fixtures against Bayern, Spurs, Liverpool, Inter, and Chelsea is the kind of setback no ambitious player welcomes, and his determination to return quickly and strongly will be unquestioned. In the end, Arsenal's season may come to be defined by how they cope with this storm. Survive it, and they will emerge stronger, with belief cemented that they can overcome adversity. Falter, and the narrative of missed opportunity may once again haunt them. 7 games, 6 weeks, 1 missing defender. The margins are painfully fine, and Arsenal know all too well how costly they can be.